Homes are getting crushed in Vancouver right now, and your home type might be one of the ones that's taking the biggest hit. And the crazy part, some of these listings look totally normal. However, most buyers are refusing to touch them today. Stick around to the end because I'm going to be breaking down the home type that's dropping faster than anything in the Vancouver market right now and what it means for you if you're buying or selling this type of product. So today we're talking about something a lot of agents don't talk about openly, and it's which homes are actually getting punished in this type of market. Because yeah, the market's slow, but it's not necessarily slow for everyone. It's slow for certain types of homes. And if you own one of these or you're thinking about buying one of them, you need to know what you're stepping into. So let's set the stage with a little bit of context because the numbers right now are absolutely insane. So what's going on in the market right now? Greater Vancouver just crossed 17,000 active listings, the highest level in over 10 years. The Fraser Valley is right up there too, with Surrey and Langley being absolutely loaded with inventory. So what does that mean exactly? It means buyers have options, sellers have competition, and anything that's weird, awkward, or too small, or missing a key feature, or slightly overpriced is getting punished hard, like sitting on the market for 6 to 12 months type hard. So today we're breaking down the biggest seller traps in the market right now, the home types getting chewed up the worst. And trust me, some of these might surprise you. For home type number one, we're going to talk about 2-bedroom condos. Let's start with one of the most popular ones. These are 2-bedroom townhomes that are struggling, and they're struggling bad. And this is why most people hopping into a townhome need 3 bedrooms, especially in Surrey and Langley. Families work from home setups, kids, storage, anything in between. And a 2-bedroom townhome instantly knocks out a huge chunk of that buyer pool. And the price difference between a 2-bed condo and a 2-bed townhome has shrunk like crazy. What used to be a $100,000 gap might only be 40 to 60K now. So buyers are thinking, why am I paying more to climb stairs and pay higher strata fees for the same number of bedrooms? This is why 2-bed townhomes are sitting for 2 to 3 times longer than 3 bedrooms right now. It's not that they're bad homes, they just don't match what the current buyer is looking for today. Home type number 2, we're going to talk about detached homes with no suites. This one can be brutal. If you're selling in Vancouver, Burnaby, New West, Surrey, Langley, etc., and you don't have a suite, you're instantly behind everybody else. And it's not because your home is bad, but it's because buyers need the income. Rates are high, stress tests are tight, affordability is a fight, and a suite can do the difference between the buyer qualifying and not. So homes with suites in East Van, Burnaby, New West, Surrey, Langley are selling for 8 to 12% less than comparable homes with suites. And this is one painful part. Some people are removing these suites because they don't need them. Please do not do that. You're basically deleting value off of your house. For home type number 3, we're going to talk about micro luxury condos. These tiny high-end units, yeah, they're getting hammered. I'm sure you've seen them, those tiny 450 to 550 square feet units marketed as luxury with fancy appliances and cool amenities. However, buyers are walking in now and thinking this is extremely small. Plus, some banks won't even finance under 400 square feet. Strata fees are consistently climbing in BC. Investor demand is down, and there's a non-permanent resident reduction from about 7.8% to 5% by 2027, which is going to lower the investor pool. And the result of this, some of these units are down 10 to 15% from the peak pricing. If you're buying one of them, you can negotiate, and if you're selling, be ready for a long process. For home type number 4, we're going to talk about townhomes with only 1 parking stall. This one is absolutely wrecking people in Surrey and Langley. Willoughby, Clayton, Fleetwood, Burke Mountain, these are family areas, and most families have 2 cars minimum. So a 3-bedroom townhome with only 1 stall is a massive red flag for a ton of buyers. And here's what sucks. A second stall might only be worth $25,000 to $35,000. However, the resale price is often $50,000 to $80,000 because it's not about the money, it's more about the convenience. You don't want a circular block looking for street parking every single night, and buyers don't either. Single stall townhomes are sitting for 2 to 4 times longer. If you're buying for an investment, avoid these unless you're holding for a very long time. For home type number 5, we're going to talk about high strata fee condos. This one is sneaky. Strata fees across the lower mainland have jumped 8 to 15% in the last year. Buyers see a $650 a month strata fee, and they instantly scroll past the listing. A lot of people forget that banks count that fee towards your debt load. So a condo with a high fee can actually qualify for worse than a more expensive unit with lower fees. Buildings with pools, fountains, or big amenities, the strata fees are skyrocketing, and these buyers are running the other way. These are now some of the slowest moving condos in the entire region. For home type number 6, we're going to talk about homes with very steep driveways or a ton of stairs. This one sounds small, but it can be a deal killer. Families walk up, they look at the stairs and they look at the driveway and instantly imagine their kid falling down them or their grandparents not be able to make it up and down every day. So it can turn into an instant no. Sedan drivers scrape, seniors hate it. Winter is a nightmare, and in North Van, Surrey, Langley, Coquitlam, steep driveways and a lot of stairs consistently kill deals. These homes can often sell for 10 to 15% lower, and is usually not emotional, it's more of a safety and a lifestyle issue. For home type number 7, we're going to talk about homes with fixed term tenants. Right now, these listings are painful. The BC rules mean you have to give 3 months notice and proper paperwork. So a buyer today might not get possession until May or June. Families don't want to wait. Upsizers don't want to wait. Investors don't want the uncertainty. And these listings get fewer showings, fewer offers, longer days on market, and usually bigger price reductions. So if you're selling with tenants in the home, strategy matters more than ever. Home type number 8 are condos with no parking, especially in Surrey Central. This is one of the hardest segments right now. During the pre-sale boom, buyers bought units without parking to save money. Now they're completing and nobody wants them. Not renters, not investors, not first-time home buyers, not commuters, not remote workers who still want flexibility. And in Surrey Central especially, parkingless units can sell for $70,000 to $100,000 less than comparable units. They sit longer, they get lowball offers, and they are extremely difficult to exit. For home type number 9, we're going to talk about assignment sales. Assignments used to be the cheat code. You buy a pre-sale, you flip it before completion, and make a ton of profit. However, that era is long gone. Developers now discount their own inventory, investors have exited, rent has softened, demand is down, and completion timelines are scaring a ton of people off. Assignments are getting absolutely smoked, and some of these owners are losing huge money. This is one of the worst performing segments in the entire market. So if you're buying a pre-sale today, think 5 to 15 years down the road. For home type number 10, we're going to talk about micro units with no parking and no storage, which is the worst segment in the entire market right now. This is the bottom of the barrel, a tiny unit with no parking, no storage, lots of competition, small buyer pool, high inventory, and very low appeal. And these are the fastest falling units in the entire lower mainland. Almost nobody wants them. Again, not families, investors, upsizers, students, young professionals, commuters, not anyone with any stuff. And when demand is that tiny, the resale can get extremely ugly. So if you're buying, negotiate hard, and if you're selling, price it correctly and understand the reality. So the truth about this market is people think the market is crashing. However, it's not. It's splitting. Homes with strong fundamentals are still selling and they're still competitive. However, homes with weak fundamentals are getting absolutely obliterated. Buyers are picky, inventory is high, and the gap between a good home and a bad home has never been bigger. So if you want to avoid getting trapped in a dead listing, or if you're trying to figure out whether your home type is safe in this market, just shoot me a text at 604-288-7592 and I can walk you through exactly what's happening in your submarket. Surrey, Langley, Vancouver, Burnaby, New West, it doesn't matter. I got you. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'll see you in the next one.